Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Merp.
Meep. Merp.
It
All right,
was so long after me. I was like, oh, is he not going to do it?
no, so this week up on the docket, we have a few things. They're pretty.
Don't say it's not a lot because it is a lot. It took me like my entire break to read this other blog.
Okay, it is a lot, but it's really only two things. So we're going to be going over this week's update, which we likely won't have another one. So this is probably going to be the last update
It's
of
not
the
likely,
year.
yeah. It's until January 8th.
Yeah.
Tell us who you guys want on the podcast. I really should hit up people for guests. I've just been having social anxiety, so
Yeah,
I
or
don't
let us
want
know
to.
any topics you want us to talk about on like a one-off subject
Mhm.
podcast type of deal where we could just like rant about that maybe or just include it. That would be cool. But we have the last update for the year probably,
Yes.
which is going to be the Christmas one, and then we do have a surprise sailing blog, actually
I'm
two.
wondering if they're going to pull this stuff until the new year, though. Like post random blogs that they had saved.
Probably. I think
They
this
should
is.
just save this for next week. They should just queue it up.
I was gonna say I think they have like a few blog posts like this to hold us over until the new year.
I hope so.
I think that's usually what they do when they know they have lulls.
Yeah, I hope so because I'm just like feeling so antisocial and inviting someone on sounds really daunting right now.
Yeah. So we do have Sailing Blog 1 and 2 looking at behind the scenes of the skill in general, primarily
And what's gonna be
discussing
like
the leveling what do they call it? Like the life
leveling loop.
like kind of yeah, the leveling loop
Oh,
like
the core loop. It's literally right there.
yeah. And so we're going to be talking all about that. And then, of course, as always, we do have a Q&A at the end where we answer everyone's questions for the week over from Spotify, but also discord.gg/Bunebape. We do have a questions section there. We do appreciate all the questions, either about RuneScape, other games, or real life. Feel free to drop your question wherever. We do have socials down below as well. So before we get into all that, though, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going good. I've still been playing leagues, less obsessed. It's not because I'm not interested in leagues. It's just because I'm at stupid work and it's hard to do stuff at work.
True,
Work is
stupid
actually
work.
fine. It's not even stressful. It's just like it's hard because I'm taking calls and usually there's like 2 to 3 minutes of downtime in between and like there's really not much you could do in 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
God Wars Dungeon was really good for it, but now I've gotten all the drops from all of them, other than next, which I don't think would be as chill for at work.
Maybe.
So
Probably.
I've just been like hanging out, doing league stuff, and I am mithril rank, and I ended up unlocking the Guardian. So tier 8.
Nice.
Trying side 4. I refuse to give up until I get adamant. I've never had adamant rank, and I really, really want it. I really want rune.
Why don't you
But
just
we'll
get
see.
Dragon?
Well, I really want dragon, but there's no way.
You could do it. I mean, there's 80,000 points in the region.
I feel like everyone who gets dragon is grinding like the entire leagues all the time.
I guess, but you have to think about it. There's people already that have Dragon, obviously. And there's
Is
also, yeah.
Oh.
And also, we're actually going to take a look at it in a minute.
Oh,
Also, on top of that, if you think about it, like I said, like almost 85,000 points, I think, in total for all the regions that we have unlocked. So you could still not get 20,000 points, which is more than you've already gained,
yeah.
and still get Dragon.
It would be really cool to get dragon.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you get at one of the leagues.
My least favorite thing about leagues always has happened a couple of times where people are like, ask me, are people still playing leagues? If people ask me that, it makes me less interested in leagues. So don't ask me that.
Are you?
I'm
though?
having-
Or is everyone?
I see so much people still playing. But whenever
Yeah.
people ask me, oh, is everyone done? It like makes me be like, is everyone done? Is there any point? There's still a lot of people playing leagues. Don't say that to me. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
That's my PSA. But yeah, I've just been doing leagues and having fun with that. You have not been playing leagues.
Yeah, I was about to say I am done with leagues for the most part.
I was like, wait, we never even rated. Not for the most part.
Yeah, I said for the
Okay,
most
good.
part. So like I'll still go back and potentially do some bosses.
Oh, I didn't even mention my
Potentially.
drops.
Oh, did you get any good jobs?
I got a TiVo at like 5 hardwood KC,
Hard
and
mode.
I got a scythe at 7.
Nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's pretty good, I guess.
continue. My friend Rob from work joined that stream, and people were telling him to drop all my items because my eye started burning, and I went to wash it out. And he was like, "What do I do?" And someone was like, "Shift left click everything in her inventory." And he was like, "Really?" And then you could hear me in the background of the stream saying, "No." So that
Yeah.
was kind of funny.
All right.
Tell me about your game. Sorry.
No, I mean, yeah, I might log in for bosses sometime. It's definitely going to be less frequently. I'm not going to log in to do any more grinding, more than likely, because I have been, and I already knew this was going to happen. So Not a surprise to me at all, but I was fairly. I've become enraptured by Path of Exile 2.
You're like that meme. Friend with old or friendship with OSRS leagues is over. Friendship with PoE2 just started.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of people from leagues that,
Did the same thing.
yeah, was in a similar boat. So maybe they only played for a week. I know some people like played for a week and they're already done with Path of Exile. So until like fixes or whatever happens, it's still only half of the game. It's still in early
Yeah, it's like
access.
I was gonna say it's early access, right?
Yeah, so I have been playing that fairly obsessively and like thinking about it at work. So I'm like, I wish I was playing right now.
I wish I
But
was playing RuneScape right now,
yeah,
but here we
so
are.
because of that, I probably won't be playing RuneScape because I only have enough time for one game at a time.
Mhm.
So I'm probably just gonna be playing Path of Exile continuously
I'll confront you here and now. You have mobile. It's gonna be slow at work this week. Why not play RuneScape on mobile at work?
because it'd be the same thing as you like really wanting to play Baldur's Gate and then me saying, "Oh, why don't you just, fill your time with this other game? It's probably just as fun."
That's fair.
It's like, no, you want to be playing what you are
That's
thinking about.
that is valid. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Confrontation over.
It's just a regular craving, It's like you're like, "Oh, I really want ice cream." And someone's like, "Oh, here's cake." You're like,
That's
I
not what I
you're
said.
like, "I guess that's fine
Yeah.
if I just am not going to get the other thing." But knowing I'm going to get the other thing, I might as well just wait.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
yeah, so I've just been looking forward to Path of Exile, and there was an update 15 minutes ago that I want to go read the patch notes for.
So
And
anyway, welcome to this week of Bath Bub Bexbile.
yeah, Bath of Bexbile. Pretty
Ooh,
exciting,
this
pretty
store.
fun. Yeah, so there's like 6 classes and a whole end game system. Overall, I think it's pretty good. Probably like an 8 out of 10 experience so far.
Oh wow.
Yeah, pretty fun. The bosses are incredibly well done. But if anything, RuneScape's bosses could like probably take a note out of some of like Path of Exile's, methods they use in boss fights.
Sounds fake.
I mean, they've done already some of it in like Echo bosses, which they should just probably add to the
The
game at
Echo
this
bosses are
point.
really fun. I finished all of them. They're really fun.
It's
Well,
funny.
online.
It's funny because like I feel like the echo bosses are something that they added to the game that should just be done permanently, and it's kind of like it's probably not to the same level, but for instance, like World of Warcraft, every once in a while a game will like add something that's like so good that they're like, all right, this is it. And for like WoW, they added like mythic dungeons, which were like more challenging versions of the regular dungeons with like
Hmm.
added things to make them more interesting and more difficult. And that's kind of what echo bosses are. I think they should keep the original bosses, but I think they should introduce ways to add
Like
echo
challenge
bosses.
yourself. I did see one suggestion that they make it kind of like the Galvic fight that you could go and do in Prifddinas. They're like you don't have to reward anything. It's just kind of fun to see and go and see what your PB is. Personally,
No,
I'd kind of like a little cosmetics.
yeah, I was like, that's cool, but also
Not like drops, but cosmetics,
I
like
th-
Florva style.
I'm just thinking like if they, take the echo bosses, which obviously there are some workarounds and like ways to cheese the fights, if they like fine tune them, so like you have to do the entire
Yeah.
DK's praying sequence the whole time, like you should, and obviously you don't have the attack through prayer mechanic, then I think that should just be more rewarding. Like you should get a higher chance at loot or something like that because
Hmm,
it is much more difficult.
true. So same loot table.
Yeah, maybe it's just the same loot table, but like higher average value or just a
Yeah.
higher rare drop chance. Either one of those would be fine.
Not opposed to it. I kind of like the higher value one. So then, I don't know. I mean, just because it's kind of scary almost to be like stuff, these rare drops become more common. But you could be like, you get more rune plate bodies. Or
Yeah,
they're
sure.
noted.
Yeah, either way, whatever incentive would be best for that.
Yeah.
I think they should add that because like one, it also gives like the average player that maybe they don't want to go do like something really hard like
Like Blorva.
soul, or it also allows you to like practice, for
Mhm.
instance, like if you are building up to something you can work on something easier but is like a medium, kind of like the echo GGs, which are pretty easy but they're probably harder than your average boss at that,
Yeah.
level range.
Also, I mean, we're doing everything in leagues where we're hitting through prayer and our hits heal us,
Yeah.
and everything's so fast.
Yeah, obviously they'd have to tune them
Yeah,
appropriately.
it'd be interesting to see how it works in real game.
But also then it's like, all right, well, I like doing it would like kind of revive older content in a
Hmm.
way. So or different content
I
in a
heard
way.
that Calfight Queen's Echo version makes it fun.
Yeah, I heard that just makes it better.
Yeah.
So
Same
it's
with,
like,
and I heard KBD's is like AFK.
yeah, like
Or that was regular
you
KBD.
can go back to KBD and actually, fight it for a reason other than,
Pet.
achievements or pet. And same thing with KQ. Now it doesn't suck and actually kind of is fun. Or DKs where it's like no one ever did that because there's like 8.5 billion rings in the game. So why would you do that? Just pay like a mil for a ring.
Yeah.
And but like now it's like, oh, maybe I'll go back because they drop like 40k per kill or 100k per kill or something.
I had such a hard time with the DK's one. That was definitely the hardest for me.
Yeah.
Serb was super easy, by the way, because I had a T-bow. It was
Yeah, serve was a
so
joke.
fast.
Yeah.
DK's was the hardest, and it was so tilting at first. And after I got the KC, it was so inconsistent until I started hitting like 12, I think, KC. And then it was fun.
Yeah.
I actually really started to enjoy it. It was still a challenge. I still got messed up every once in a while, but it was actually pretty fun.
But you were still abusing mechanics, right?
No.
Well, weren't you doing the through prayer?
Oh, I was in the last third of the fight.
Yeah.
So I was testing out, seeing what kind of stuff you could do because why not? I was going to be there for a while. You can only hit one DK the entire time, but only that one will drop loot.
Yeah.
So I was hitting all three until the second rotation, and then I started focusing on just two. I actually ended up focusing on two because
Okay.
two of them were like super weak to the T-bow.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't have the T-bow then.
It's not until the
It's just the melee one is not good for range, so I was just kind of avoiding that. But as
yeah.
long as you hit in the first phase, you'll get the three drops.
Yeah, it's not until the last phase where they're all hittable.
Yeah.
But yeah, like stuff like that, or if I don't know if you've seen it, but the Soul Heredit fight, the Echo
I
fight,
haven't.
it actually looks really
I'll
cool
have to watch
and
it.
really interesting. And the
I've
fact that
never
you
seen the
can,
regular Soul Heredit fight, to be honest.
oh really?
Yeah.
And the fact that you can skip the waves. I don't know if they would
Oh,
keep that,
yeah.
but the Soul Heredit fight specifically, you're allowed to skip the waves to do just the fight
They'll do an
itself.
Echo Zuck, and you have to do Inferno every single time.
Like maybe they wouldn't even reward the cape
Mm-hmm.
by doing the Echo version. Maybe it's just all like, all right, you have a higher chance at getting the other
Sunfire Fanatic or something. Yeah.
the other items. That would be cool because the Echo version looks really cool, but I've seen 1.5 million people just going in and using
The
the
Darox.
no, not even the Darox, it's the Kopesh.
Oh, dude. The Kopesh is apparently like busted.
Yeah, so they just go in and spec it 1 million times.
Makes
and
me wish
then,
that I had the Wilderness.
yeah, just like one shots the boss.
That is so funny.
If you could do it for real, balanced,
You obviously would not have the Kopesh in main game.
then I think Echoes would probably be kind of like, and to wrap this all the way around back to like where I began, I feel like Echo versions of bosses and including more of them over time or something along those lines could be the key for RuneScape that like mythic plus dungeons was for WoW. It unlocked a whole new avenue for progression
Yeah.
and for continuation of old content because they essentially took really old content, really old dungeons that you literally couldn't do anymore, type of stuff, and they reimagined them so that you could do them and they were challenging.
Wow, that's fun.
So it's like if they did that for RuneScape, that would be really cool. Like
The Echo bosses are so fun.
imagine if like they redid like Echo Scorpia or something like that, and so the boss wasn't literally abandoned. That would be cool too.
It was funny. We were talking about the other day. Someone in chat was like saying how they got Scorpia, and Wraith was like, "Yeah, that's like one of the rarest pets in the game. It's like the top 15 or something
Yeah,
rarest."
who goes there?
Well, that's what they're saying. That person was like, "Well, it's such an easy fight. Like, there's no way." And then Wraith's like, "No one's going to level 50 Wildy is the issue."
Yeah, why would you go there?
At least now the pets are auto insured. But before the pets were auto insured, I didn't want any of the wilderness pets because it's just like, what if you get PK'd on your way back and you lose your pet? That is one of the best quality of life changes that they've added. Is pets
True.
being auto insured.
Yeah.
That was scary before.
Honestly, I would just as soon as I got the pet, I would just log out.
As I was planning, if I ever did that, I was like, I'll log out and then I'll ask friends on Discord to come and literally escort me
Well,
to Barracks.
I would just like log in at like what would be the most dead time of day and then have someone scout it.
Yeah. I was thinking this like similar, but like I'll have like a little group surrounding me to
Yeah,
protect me. Anyway, I'm really glad that I didn't have to get to that and that they just made it auto protected.
true.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was a crazy tangent,
I
but
mean, well, we were about to talk about leagues, so we could skip the Christmas and just talk about leagues first.
yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
So there is
The leagues, the Christmas stuff is so cute. We'll talk about it in a second.
yeah, there's a Christmas event, same as every year. We'll go over that after we talk about some leagues fixes.
Yeah. So task fixes, we'll just go back and forth if you want.
Sure.
You start.
There's just a bunch of bullet points.
Yes.
So it's funny because this is the one that you were confused about originally.
Bro.
So this is the task that made it so that the arcane and dexterous scrolls have been fixed for players without the grimoire. You can now complete it by simply reading the scrolls.
So I still can't get it.
No, that's
with
what
my
I'm saying.
grimoire.
Yeah.
Anyway, the chat box closing permanently, prematurely, no longer blocks the activate the statue of eights task. If you've already met the requirements but the task wasn't registered, the task will be retroactively completed for when you open the area's Relics Masters interface from the League's 5 menu.
Also, now obtaining Quetzin will also work retroactively and award you the obtaining a skilling pet.
As it should, it's a skilling pet.
Yeah.
The equip a full god D'hide set task can now be completed with Zamorakian D'hide armor. Why was it not before?
Yeah, I don't know. That's so weird. The brutally murder Conrad King task will now autocomplete when you unlock Corinne.
Isn't that one? No, I was thinking of. I remember there's one quest
I don't
early
know.
on in the Corinne storyline where you go and you have to push a guy into the ocean or something.
Maybe that's it. I
And
literally
felt,
have no
I
idea.
remember feeling bad. I didn't want to, but I had to, and I was like, "Whoa, they're making me kill this guy."
Yeah.
Echo boss KCs now count towards the kill count task for combat achievements. If you've already done the full amount of KC, it will retroactively complete after an additional KC. That's pretty cool
Yeah.
because I've done a few of them.
And you did skip the Garden of Death task will now
Oh.
autocomplete when you unlock the desert.
Echoes from the melee mastery no longer fail the task to kill bosses with specific weapons. Additionally, echoes no longer affect non-melee Nilos in Tob.
And they corrected the text on the have Elsie tell you a story description to state that she lives in Varrock, not Falador.
That's funny that took like 3 weeks. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Corrected the description of the Steel 15 artifacts task.
That's not how you spell artifact.
I mean, that's how they spell it. England.
No, I think they're saying that that's how it's
Oh,
spelled.
is that? I feel like that's for story how they spell it.
Yeah. Also, all of these things are retroactive. So if
Yeah.
you did any of these things, you can go back and the task should be completed.
Hopefully. Otherwise, report is a bug.
The next ones are going to be clue step fixes. All of these will be clue step fixes, but these first few are going to be specifically if you have Treasure Arbiter unlocked. So Robin will.
Okay, you should say you can now complete the following steps without issue. There was issues before.
Yes, specifically if you have Treasure Arbiter, though. So talking to Robin with 180 plus range attack.
Talk to Gama with 100 plus strength.
Talk to Juna whilst wearing 3 Guthix items.
Anger emote at the Ceradoman statue in Varrock with the Zamorak God Sword. No longer requires Zamorak God Sword, but you'll still need to have the Ceradoman statue installed.
Doing a jig at the Barrow's chest while wearing a set of Barrows.
Yawn at Pyramid Plunder while wearing a Pharaoh Scepter.
And dance in Ivan's temple whilst wearing an Ivan's staff, robe top, and mystic bottom.
Some of these are making me glad that I don't have the desert unlocked. I'm like, ew, I'd have to have a Pharaoh Scepter? Ooh.
Yeah, sounds gross. Those are all for the Treasure Arbiter specifically, but these next ones are also clue steps that have been fixed.
The Equip Ivan Staff clue step will now only appear if you have Tyrwin, Kandarin, and Moritania areas unlocked.
They also fixed a bug where the Elite Clue Step Panic at the area flowers meets snow was showing up despite not having Kandarin.
Using the Anger Moat with the Treasure Arbiter relic unlocked now correctly makes the double agent appear.
Cool.
Everyone's just getting more and more angry and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Cute.
It's nice because these next ones that are fixed are relic fixes, and I did see quite a few people complaining about them over the last few weeks. And so the first one is Production Master now works when crafting with Amethyst.
Checking XP is now correctly given when a fruit tree is replanted with Overground.
And this is one I saw a lot.
I didn't know that I could do this.
The big shark, big swordfish, and big bass would previously auto cook, now they do not.
Oh my god. Specialist relics fix. Special attack energy now restores when killing a lost soul during the Whisperer fight.
And fixed an issue where the Clue Compass teleport to Keldegrim required completing the Giant Dwarf quest. I ran into that personally.
I think I did too, actually. And I was like, what? You don't have to complete it. You just have to start it.
Yes.
Which, I mean, as soon as I started it, I think it did work. I don't know.
I never used it after that, but I did start it to get there.
Yeah. Corrected the spelling of cannabis on the Clue Compass teleport menu. What? How is it spelled? I need to go watch back my VOD.
We'll never know.
No, I could find out right after this.
No,
I remember.
No, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
There's additional random miscellaneous fixes, such as they fixed a bug where Tormented Demons teleports couldn't send you there without the quest requirements, and I ran into that whenever I did my 150.
Gaboody. There's no, how do you say that? Is it dead? Gaboody?
Okay.
No, now properly shows up in Chrome as intended.
And the league summary page now shows players killed. Also, instead of time played, it just shows account age, which is the same thing as if you talk to Hans. You don't actually know how long you've played in leagues.
It was so weird because the first day it kept saying time played, and I looked and I was like, there's no way I spent this much time. And then I realized it was saying the exact time that Leagues has been out. And I was like, that's not accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway, Valiev Hertz from Sins of the Father quest is now in the right location.
Is it not Valayev?
Valiev Hertz.
I have no idea. But yeah, previously you had to go talk to him in the Marik hideout in order for him to spawn where he correctly should be.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Because I had to do that.
That's not that big a deal. It's just going to Bergderot.
It was a really big deal.
Also, Slayer helmets can now properly be recolored. That was an issue. Only
with some people.
Only a few of the recolors worked.
Ah.
Not all of them, but now they should work.
TOA no longer can be accessed early by using the Banker's Note briefcase from the Bank Heist relic. That is pretty funny.
Echo Hunlif no longer stretches during its death animation because it is dead.
Golden Tinch now has a chance to be dropped as intended both in leagues and main game roles. Wait.
Imagine farming.
What was wrong with it before?
Imagine farming.
What does that mean?
Other fixes, these were done over the entirety of last week. And so this is obtain 100% support from your kingdom subjects. The Fremnik clue step is no longer blocked if you have Pocket Kingdom.
Fixed a bug where Bone Dagger's first attack was not guaranteed.
And the Dragon Axe OR now displays as the correct model of the axe while woodcutting.
I heard it was showing the Echo version.
Yeah.
Players can now get Hydra and Araxite task with the correct quantities from Slayer Master.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, and that they are not going to be doing anything unless they're not going to be doing any changes until January 8th unless there's some like major changes that need addressing.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Which is why we said this is pretty much the last patch for the year.
League so far. This is kind of cool. I haven't watched this video, but I kind of want to. So with every league comes the burning question about collective stats. Who's the deadliest NPC? Is your favorite creator rank 1 on points? How many Karam ones have you wrangled? So Soup RS brought you a video on all the stats you could possibly want from League's Raging Echoes. We also have an update on the OSRS Discord high scores.
These are only people registered on Discord.
Whoa, it's changed so much since last time.
Last week,
none of these are like the same people.
Last week it was, oh, some of them are, but last week it was around 40,000 on the top end. Now it is comfortably into 60,000. Some people obviously getting dragon
Someone's
rank.
name is Purple. That's crazy. And Panic. Such strong names, guys.
And Akon.
Yes, Akon. The singer.
And Moana. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought someone too. It's Moama.
Yeah, those people are big gamers.
There's also a few other tiny little baby changes, which we always love the most.
Very small.
I thought you...
No, go ahead.
Awkward. Corrected the chat head graphics for Messenger used by quest characters like Mesa.
And certain NPCs in Desert Treasure 2 and Secrets of the North are no longer vulnerable to being shoved around.
How do you even shoved around?
I don't know.
Like a halberd? Can you push people with a halberd?
No, that's a D spear.
Oh.
So it's the assassin from DT2, Ketla, Purston, Ancient Guardian, Jihalan, I have no idea how to say that, and the assassin from Secrets of the North as well.
And this one I actually noticed myself and brought to Robert.
This is the big one.
They replaced the thumbs up and down buttons on the logout panel with a 1 to 5 star rating. So there's much ranger. I was literally much bigger range, much ranger.
Much ranger.
I was telling Robert earlier, I'm like, it's kind of wild that before it was like, yes or no, you like it or you don't. There's no other option.
No, it's just, did you have a good time? Did you have a bad time?
There's no like, I had an okay time. This, oh my God. Christmas update, you guys. It is so freaking cute. I had Robert look over like 5 times so much he'd be like, okay, I'm not looking over anymore.
Yeah, it was too much. I thought it was perfectly fine. So this is all dog related. They used all the
You got that dog in them.
They used all the dog models that they promised
For
that
pets?
would be put into the game a long time ago, and they just didn't. So
So
now we
cute.
got corgis, we got good dogs, we got bad dogs,
A shepherd dog.
a shepherd dog,
We got a little stray dog, but he's in a
a
costume.
reindeer
A
dog.
mystery dog with a box on its head.
Yeah, definitely mystery dog.
I love him.
But yeah, so all of these dogs will be available if you go and do the quest. You can start it by doing what? You did it, right?
I did do it. Shout out to Uber for the amazing art above. Should we hit up Uber to make our starting screen? This is really good.
It's Uber.
Oh, there's no way. Is it
No, I'm
actually?
just kidding.
Open
No,
up their link in another tab just for future reference.
Open up Uber.
I probably can't afford them. That's fine. All right. So starting out, you start this quest in Varlamore.
Wow, already wrong. Okay, I'll take over. So you start in Falador in the park.
Almost Varlamore.
Yeah, not even close. You talk to Cecilia and
Not to sing a song this time.
yeah, she has decided that it's now the perfect time to put some festive decorations together, but the stray dogs of Falador, look at this little
Look at his
corgi,
little face.
they have other plans.
Look
So
at the little box one.
yeah, there's a bunch of stray dogs
Yorkie.
roaming around
So
Falador
cute, you
Park.
guys.
And your
And they're messing
goal
everything up.
your goal is to find them a home this year for Christmas.
Yeah, and there's a little adoption event. So you have to go around and give invitations to people and invite them for the event. Robert has a favorite dog. It's the shepherd.
Yeah, shepherds are some of my favorite dogs in real life. For sure. And then corgis are also really good
Corgis
boys.
are good. They're all so
The
cute.
rest, I guess, are okay.
I like the one with the box head.
Let us know what your favorite type of dog is.
Yes, and I'm going to say some spoilers. Skip a minute if you don't want to hear spoilers.
My favorite type of dog is the good kind.
Oh wait, I guess it's not a spoiler yet. I don't have a favorite kind of dog. I just like dogs. Going over rewards, that's the spoiler. You get the dog mask, which comes with ears. It's called the dog disguise. It looks a little furry-esque, but that's okay. Who are we to judge? You also get a dog handkerchief to go on your neck.
A doggerchief.
A doggerchief. You get a box that goes on your head like a gift. It's a reference to one of the dogs in it. And I don't know if you noticed the shoes, the dog shoes.
Oh, obviously.
The dog shoes are little, like, it looks like the stray dog's face on it. It's also so cute because at the end of the quest, all the dogs get adopted and they end up, you can go and visit them all around. And the stray dog has a name now. His name's Duke. It's really cute.
Like Duke Horatio?
Yeah, but not, he's named by Charlie.
No, I think it's Duke Horatio.
He's cute. So I have a tattoo of Duke the dog.
Everyone knows Duke Horatio is Charlie's dad.
Anyway, it was so cute. I really, really liked
He's the
little
bastard
quest.
son.
I recorded it to make a video, but I have been so busy. I don't know if I actually will. If I will, it'll be late. Oh, I
Who
didn't
knows?
realize this. You can change the colors of the
You can
box
change the
hat.
color of your box hat, present hat, from green to gold to blue and black.
Nice. They also have a Christmas parade that has not happened yet.
What?
Everyone don your fursuits.
And by the time you hear this, it
still hasn't
still
happened.
won't have
That's
happened.
so rare. Every time we mention it, we're like, you missed it.
Yeah.
So Monday, December 16th, 16 GMT. Wait, that's 8 in the morning. That's when I leave for work. That's literally the minute I leave for work.
Gee,
Whatever.
Guess we gotta take Monday off.
Road 326 from Falador Park. They're doing a little parade for Christmas throughout, like,
Falador, Verog,
Port
Mistlin.
Sarum, Remington, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, Misslid. That's what I was trying to think of. There's also going to be a live stream at the same time, so be sure to be there. There's going to be full surprises. I'm sure they're going to give away free stuff. They usually do.
Yeah, and speaking of live streams, there is going to be a bit of like a photo live stream kind of contest thing. I don't know.
Reaching.
Well, no.
Well, they will be on the live stream. But...
Last time they did this, it was live stream over on the Discord specifically. So I don't know if they'll do that again. But anyways, you can send in pictures of your dog, and Mod Skylark will actually do a rendition of them in RuneScape, I think.
I doubt. I won't be able to do this because I'll be at work. One of my sister's dogs just passed away, and that would actually be really cute if we could have him do that.
Calm all the way down with just passed away.
It was a couple months ago.
It was many months ago.
But you know her, and she was obsessed with him, so it was really sad. That would be really cute. I'll be at work. Maybe you can try to do it.
It was a French dog.
A French bulldog. He wasn't just French.
He said, "We."
He walked up. He was like, "Oh."
Every time he entered the door, Monsieur.
Yeah, his name was Chunk. I've definitely talked about him on the podcast before. He passed away a few months ago. He was on the stream too. He was a really good guy.
He was a good guy.
He was.
He was a dark beast in real life.
Literally, he'd kick up his little leg like a dark beast. It was so cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna cry.
That is it. The final designs will be revealed for the pets over on the live stream, which is why I connected this full circle on December 16th. Same as the live stream where they do the parade. They will also reveal the pets. So make sure to do your pets now for the parade.
Will you click that, because I doubt it, but I do want to try and be like, I'll pull the heartstrings. I'll be like, this is my sister's dog that died a few months ago. I think it would make her happy to see a little drawing of him. Oh my God, people have really cute pets.
Yeah, it just automatically links to the Draw Your Pets channel on the RuneScape Discord, and people are just throwing their pets.
There's some really good pictures of some really good guys.
Oh yeah, some really good guys. Some really goofy looking guys too.
There's a little old golden boy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I could just look at pictures of pets and cry. They're just so cute.
Yeah.
They make me so happy.
Some good old pets. Only dogs and cats so far. Kind of surprised. Oh, nope, there's
bunny.
A bunny. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, anyway, it's distracting. They're so cute. I meant to keep that open so I can do it too.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so make sure to head over to Discord if you just want to see pictures of people's pets, or
you don't have to post, just go scroll like me.
See if any of them get drawn up, or even submit your own. Obviously, that would be cool as well. And that is it for this week's update.
Yeah. We do have a bit more to talk about for sailing, though.
Yes, we do have a lot to talk about for sailing. So we are going to be going over sailing as a skill. But before I get into it, I did want to mention that if you just want to listen to like a video that is more succinct than what we're going to go over. Honestly, it's a really well done video. It's in collaboration with Hebox and Gentle Tractor.
Oh, I feel like we see their names a lot in the blogs.
Yeah, Hebox is I think the still record holder for fastest to maxed account.
Did we ever figure out if it's Jong or Junga, like Dutch?
Jong?
There's a lot of Dutch or Belgian players.
Or is it Jong here?
No, it's just Junga.
No, yeah, I have no idea. We do not know.
Gentle Tractor sounds like a tea brand.
Okay.
Makes me want tea.
They together collaborated with RuneScape to make a video revealing everything we're about to talk about sailing, and they have a very long video. I think it's around 20 minutes.
You watched it?
Yeah, and they do talk about everything we're about to say. So if you want something a little bit more interesting, they do show all the pictures we're also going to talk about. But Gentle Tractor separately made additional infographics that we are going to talk about. So you can go look at the video as well as the full graphics if you are more of a visual enjoyer.
Yeah. Or you could just watch us on YouTube talking. Oh, also, I, for the first time last week, uploaded a video on Spotify as well. Feedback, please. Do we like it? Do we not like it? I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, sure.
But it does make the podcast go out later. So that's actually why I want feedback. Usually the audio only goes out like 12 hours earlier because I go to sleep while it's loading on YouTube. So let me know if you guys are okay with the time, or if you'd rather just audio only on Spotify.
Yeah, that's fine too.
I know.
Anyway. Besides that, though, we can get into sailing as a skill. So they start off by saying that all skills have training methods ranging from low to high intensity, with XP and other rewards to compensate you for your efforts. For example, training woodcutting could involve lazy chopping some redwoods, or could be 2 ticking teaks. So sailing is no exception to this rule, and today you'll see how they've designed different ways of training activities to appeal to different playstyles.
So OSRS skills have 3 core components: their purpose, why you should do it; their identity, what they feel like in their narrative; and their core gameplay loop. For sailing, that is going to be purpose, travel to new places, interact with things at sea; identity, utilize a boat as a tool; and core loop, click on a facility to interact with the world using your boat.
All right, so I gotta jump in, because at least at first glance, I could be wrong. I'm often wrong, but at first glance, I wouldn't say that the identity of sailing personally is to just utilize the boat as a tool.
Well, the example they give for thieving is that thieving's identity is steal things that don't belong to you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess that kind of matches up.
I mean, that's literally the definition of thieving.
I know. Like the sailing kind of matches up. It's just kind of hard for me to identify what its identity would be.
Yeah. I guess sailing is, because I think of obviously sailing, old time boats and stuff like that with, fabric sails. I just imagine exploration or things at sea, not necessarily using the boat as like a FedEx.
Yeah. Well,
So,
we kind of use it as a FedEx, spoiler alert.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I was kind of like, I don't totally agree with the identity right off the bat.
Okay. Well, so low-level sailors will still be getting to grips with their boats. They're likely to capsize, and they won't be able to overcome the dangers of the open sea. On the other hand, a master sailor knows the sea well and traverses it with ease. They can use all kinds of facilities on their boat and rely on their nautical knowledge to sail anywhere they like. Although the purpose of sailing is to let you explore new places, this skill is about far more than just traveling around. Sailing lets you engage with the sea as a new area of the map, experiencing unknown threats and encountering new opportunities as you traverse the ocean. It is more than just a slow teleport. It's a skill, guys. It's a
Wow.
skill.
So now being slow is a skill.
Yeah.
That's cool. So there are three primary parts of a boat.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say for like the skilling. I was like, just when you're like really low level.
No, no.
Ignore me. I guess what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's three main parts of the boat. It's gonna be the sail, the tiller, and the cargo hold. You will add additional facilities to the boat as you level up. But
This is early game.
this is the base of it. There's also gonna be
Yes.
cannons, but it's not in this picture.
And a salvaging hook and a trawling net.
And yeah, all of that actually. So
Yeah.
there's going to be quite a few things for the boat, but when you start out, you'll only have just a few components. And as you level, you'll also be able to upgrade those components as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you read about this next one because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. So Luffy.
Luffy.
No. So luffing.
Oh, is it luffing?
I guess so. You act like I'm a sailor.
I thought it was loofing. You act like I'm a sailor.
Yeah. I mean, I am not a seaman, so I wouldn't know.
Jesus Christ.
Sail
Why say it like that?
is literally what they're called in the Navy.
Adding more seamen to the arc.
So sails are one of the very first facilities that you'll interact with. In real life, luffing is what happens when a sail is too close to the wind, which causes them to flap about, which slows your boat. You want a taut sail.
Yeah, you don't want loose flaps
True, that is what they say.
in real life too.
Yeah, in real life boats
With your
as
boat.
well.
Yeah.
Our original luffing mechanic slowed and eventually stopped your boat if they weren't trimmed and if you weren't actively, literally sailing the boat. So instead of punishing you for your inattentiveness, we've decided to reward keen-eyed sailors and just make it so if you are continually luffing the sails and trimming them properly, then you will just go faster.
Yeah. So you'll get rewarded. You also get XP. And then otherwise you'll just kind of stay stagnant as you are. You're not going to get punished, but you're not going to get rewarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do have like a little 40-second video showing you what this is going to look like, trimming or luffing the sails. And currently in this video, it does show that once you get to the point where you should be luffing the sails, then or trimming the sails, I think it's just called luffing in general, then
We just like the word,
the sail begins to turn yellow and red,
which
indicating
is placeholders. They're going to have it moving regular.
precisely
in the
what I
game.
was about to say.
Okay,
So,
cool.
whenever it starts actually luffing, that is what the in-game mechanic will eventually look like. It won't actually turn red, although I'm sure pretty much every add-on will probably just make it turn red.
Yeah. All of our plugins that we're surely going to get.
Yeah, exactly. So what it'll look like is the sail will go limp, essentially, and then you'll know that you need to click it.
Another thing, you don't want to go limp in game or in real life.
All right, let's continue on with sea charting.
Sea charting. Should we just read from the infographics?
No, because they are a little disjointed.
Okay. I didn't read the infographics. I just read the blog.
Yeah, but sea charting is kind of cool. You can read some of it, but
Yeah, so explore the seas of Gilnor and document all the memorable locations, hidden currents, ocean depths, weather patterns, and distant islands in your captain's log. Captain's log is something you'll bring with you everywhere when you're sailing, by the way.
yeah. This is also probably one of the only things that I'm not a really big fan of.
I actually like this. I like that it says in there, collect current duck.
Yeah, you actually get a duck.
Can you just collect a bunch of ducks?
Yeah, you get a duck, homie.
Follow the humble current duck to chart out hidden currents. He's just a little dude. Oh my god, I can't wait for him.
Yeah, he follows along with you.
Some gameplay comparisons for this, by the way, is exploration and discovery, puzzle. Oh puzzles and problem solving, completionism, and collection logging. Well, that's probably why it sounds fun to me.
No, I was gonna say it sounds fun to me. The part that I don't like is that this isn't a constant. So,
Well, should we read it more before you get into it?
I mean, I'm kind of going to go over it,
Okay.
but sure, we'll get into it. So once you've got the hang of using your onboard facilities, you'll want to do some sea charting. The oceans of Gilnor are vast and unexplored. As you stumble upon hidden islands and experience familiar coastlines from a new angle, you'll earn XP for your efforts. There's a lot of experience in sailing.
With your current duck companion at your side. I read that, but didn't think it was a literal duck.
Yeah, I told you.
And a troll meteorologist who needs your help to clear their weather stations. You'll be well equipped to explore Gilnor's uncharted seas. When the ocean calls you even deeper, you'll enlist the help of mermaids whose knowledge of the seafloor will unlock new secrets behind the wave. All this is thirsty work, but don't worry, you'll find crates filled with mysterious drinks. They
Cool.
mentioned the drinks again. Like, I guess the drinks are gonna be like kind of important.
They're going to give you buffs.
Yeah.
We've aimed to capture the feeling we all experienced the very first time we logged into RuneScape, when the short walk from Lumbridge to Varrock felt like an arduous journey, and you never knew what
Yay.
surprises might be waiting around the bend. Charting the sea turns the thrill of exploration into a bona fide mechanic, rewarding you for exploring new islands and seeking out new experiences.
They also have a picture of some of the new areas of the sea. Bro, it's like jam-packed with stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is dense.
It looks good.
They also have additional places already charted and some things on their to-do list, done list, and long-term goal list. Some of these things include making MVP Barracuda trials, MVP clue locations, MVP banks. They don't really say what the MVP part of it is.
Yeah, there's a question mark next to that.
Yeah, and some more long-term things are non-MVP bosses, non-MVP port task boards, and non-MVP Barracuda trials.
The ones that are already done are shipwreck areas, port task boards, and dockable locations.
Yeah. So besides that, though,
So the captain's log is something that you'll be taking with you everywhere. This will help you keep track of what you discovered, much like an achievement diary. The interface will allow you sea charting tasks, which can be easily filtered by the area you're in. And if you guys can tell by leagues, I love me a task. So I actually think that this will be kind of cool.
yeah.
We've already added sea charting to two new areas, the Unquiet Ocean and the Kandarin Gulf. Cool. Here are just a few of the things you might find here.
Yeah,
If you want
so
to skim through some of them. The first one is pretty funny.
yeah, it's pretty easy in the unquiet ocean, which is just, why do they call it the noisy ocean?
It's an ocean. It's more dramatic.
So they have the Cape Atoll Red Reef.
Cape Atoll. That was funny. Like Ape Atoll.
Oh, I was just thinking capital.
No, like Ape Atoll.
Okay, so they have the Cape Atoll, Red Reef, Barracuda HQ, Arrow Pass, Karazi. I don't know why I said
I don't know where you
Sarazi.
got the S from.
Karazi Strait, Turtle Basin, the Storm Temper, the Great Conch, Rainbow Reef, and Anglerfish's Light.
Wow. In the Kandarin Gulf, we got Bay of Sarum, Mudskipper Sound, the Firth of Lum, Remington Strait, Catherby Inlet, Brimhaven Bight, Khazard's Channel, and Bedabin's Basin.
Cool.
A lot of basins.
Yeah. Those are
You got all the
of
cooler ones. I
the
got like all the
locations.
cities and then just sea words.
And to fully chart the sea, you're going to need a few things, which for testing purposes, all of these can be bought from a port master, but in the real game, you'll get them as you level up. So all of these things include the captain's log, the spyglass, the current duck,
You have to take your duck with you. I'm sorry. You have to bring your little duck friend.
the crowbar, as well as the upgraded diving apparatus and helmet, and the anti-rust tonic.
Cool.
All of these do exactly what you would imagine they would do, so I'm not going to read their descriptions.
Yeah, the duck is just a cute friend. That's exactly what he does.
He tracks the sea currents. He has a job. He's a
He's-
working duck.
He's not. He's my best friend in the
He-
whole wide
yeah,
world.
he's a working
my
duck.
baby.
Exactly. So my only problem with this, like I
Okay.
mentioned at the top, was that you can only do this once.
Yeah, it's kind of just like achievement diaries in that way.
Yeah, so you go and discover whatever zone, do whatever charting, and then you can't do it again. That's the end of it. So once,
I mean, it's more like League's task because you get rewarded for it.
yeah, but like it kind of goes with my original ideas. Like I think exploration charting is like the primary thing I would think about as a sailor,
What would they do? Like add instances?
or just
Because it can't be infinite.
why not?
Well,
It's a
how would it be
game.
infinite
Maybe,
if
I
it's
mean,
not instanced?
maybe they could just be like, oh, these currents, oh, the currents of Gilnor change.
Hmm.
And then you could just be like, oh, we're like helping chart the ocean for these
Oh,
people just repeatedly.
I thought you meant you just keep wanting new islands over and over. And
No,
I
no,
was like,
no,
they
no.
can't do that.
No, so like you just eventually go over the same waters again. I don't know how they would implement this system in a thematic way, but it could
Yeah.
just be like, oh, you're recharting the ocean floor again
Yeah.
because it
It does
changed since the
sound
last time.
This sounds like the most fun to me, the exploring aspect. So I like
I
that.
think it's the most thematic way to
Hmm.
gain experience, and I think it sounds pretty fun. And you go to
Yeah.
like areas that you don't normally go
And it's gonna
to.
be easy to chart it. You just left click your captain's log.
Yeah,
Like super easy.
yeah, exactly. And then I think it'd be cool because naturally you could hopefully stumble upon some of the other things that you can do, and then do those along the way. It feels like a natural progression.
Yeah.
Doing it only once, I feel like, is
A one and done thing.
bizarrely limiting in that it doesn't need to be that way.
I think that's fair. I don't know how they would make it, but I do think that's fair.
Yeah, that's my main problem is I just want more of it.
Yeah. Sea charting rewards. So you'll earn a one-time XP jobs for each successful charting activity and additional sailing XP when you chart everything in one area. Sea charting also offers an exciting reward space for your boat, being kegs. Kegs store the drinks that you found while charting the sea, which can be purchased after you found them once. The keg provides buffs for your entire crew, whether they're NPC or other players. These buffs include faster salvage rates, better XP, and more cannon damage. We have not finalized the keg buffs yet. They'll all relate back to sailing and aid in skill progression. As a general rule, higher level, more dangerous areas will have better buffs. Obviously.
They're all going to get you drunk.
Yeah.
The next thing is port tasks.
This one does sound kind of fun.
This one is probably my least favorite.
There's a part of it that I don't like.
What
An aspect I don't like.
what part? Okay, so
Well, let's go over it
let me
first.
quickly summarize it because I want to hear the part you don't like.
Immediately, you can't wait.
No, so essentially, what port?
It's Hunter's Rumors, but sailing.
Yeah, so port tasks, they're pretty self-explanatory as you'd imagine. You assist NPCs at different task boards. There are 3 of them, and you can do various things from acting as a courier, so a FedEx driver, or fighting vicious sea monsters, and many other things. What don't you like about it?
Well, what I don't like, we haven't said yet, is that there's a limit to how many are offered a day.
No, there's not.
Did I misread it?
Yeah,
Can
there's
we read the blog first?
okay. So
You might like this if you enjoy repeatable task systems, having clear instructions to follow, multitasking gameplay opportunities.
yeah, it's funny because
Did you also think that?
I thought that originally, and I
Okay.
was like, "Oh, this is a daily. This sucks."
I thought it was a daily.
but it's not.
Okay, well, let's just get into it then, and then we'll discuss it more, because
Sure.
I misunderstood.
Sure. So in the sailing alpha, you'll see notice boards in
They keep
ports.
talking about it like we have access to the alpha. It's throwing me off.
No,
I'm like,
you won't
what?
have access to the alpha for like probably 6 more months.
Yeah.
But in the
I think it's
sailing
4.
alpha, you'll see notice boards in ports around Gilnor. You can click on them and find various sailing related tasks to do. So you can complete them and get XP and GP. The sailing is suited to all sorts of players and gives you a consistent rate of XP and GP. I'm kind of thinking of Mahogany Homes.
Okay.
Since you're already sailing all over Gilnor, you might as well pick up a couple of tasks while you're in port. To begin with, you'll have 2 slots for port tasks, but they'll go up as you level up.
That's interesting that you could save more than one, to be honest.
Yeah, they show it as like you potentially being able to unlock 5.
Well,
Well, actually, they just say right here there's 5 unique repeatable tasks for each task
okay,
category.
that is what confused me. So, notice board. This is where you get your port task. Each port has a unique set of 5 repeatable tasks for each task category, but they'll change every day. If you don't like the look of them, try another port or come back tomorrow.
Yeah,
That sounds limiting.
I was gonna say that specific sentence is the thing I don't like.
Yeah. Why are they limiting it? Why isn't it like Hunter Rumors where it's like it's changing over and over?
Well, yeah, so they're saying, for instance, 4 of the 5 tasks will be the same for everyone, with the last one changing based on your sailing level.
It's your personalized task.
And you'll often find that these last tasks will be paired together across ports. So in Port Sarum, you might be asked to deliver goods to Musa Point, where you'll find a task to deliver goods back to Port Sarum waiting for you. You might sometimes see tasks that require a little leveling up before you can complete them, and if you like having small goals to work towards, this might suit you. I don't like the fact that you are limited to the 5 tasks.
That's kind of what I meant to say.
Not saying that you can't do those same 5 tasks a million times in one day.
But you can only do those 5 tasks at that location. Technically, I guess you could do 15 because there's 3 of these boards, but that's...
I was about to say, let's say there is 20 different tasks in this task pool and you only like 5 of them. Well, you better hope it's a good day for you.
It's funny because technically, like, you know, you could have 15 a day. That's kind of like beginner hunter rumors or something, but it feels different when it's not constantly changing.
But the thing is, you have to remember, that's at max level.
Yeah.
At early on, you only have 2 from each port, so a pool of 6 total.
Well, I thought it was saying that you'll only have 2 slots, like, that you can hold on to.
You will only have 2 slots in that you'll only have 2 tasks available to you.
Nuh-uh.
Yes,
Each port has
the video,
set of 5.
in the video, it shows that as you level up in your sailing skill, you unlock the ability to accept more tasks.
It's weird because it's probably the same exact thing as Slayer and Hunter Rumors. Like, it's probably not actually that big of a pool for them, right? But it feels limiting because they're displaying in this way. If you only had 2 tasks, but you had to talk to an NPC and it kept changing, you might not notice for a while. But if you have a board showing these are the only 2 tasks you have, that feels limiting.
Yeah, so like the task might be a FedEx driver and the other one could be salvaging. And if you're like, well, I only like...
the killing someone.
Yeah, I only like killing things.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just not going to get XP in sailing today by doing task boards. Obviously, you could do it in other ways, but I think it's just, again, kind of weirdly limiting.
Yeah, I think that this is something that they could change based on feedback because I imagine a lot of people won't like that.
Yeah, I think potentially it could be cool if they're all like, all right, we have a pool list of 15, and then maybe eventually it's 20, and then maybe it's 25, and it's multiples of 5 because they just open new ports.
Yeah.
And so these would always be available. Like, let's say there's 5 at Musa Point and 5 at Port Sarim, and those 10 are the only that are ever available. And they just change between the ports. So you're like, all right, I like killing stuff. It was at Port Sarim yesterday. It's at Musa Point today. So I'll just go to Musa Point to do my stuff.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, you're still getting a change of scenery, but you can still do the stuff you like to do.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, because you're right. It is similar to Slayer in that you're not always doing what you like to do, but I think that's kind of archaic and kind of a thing that people don't like about Slayer, and I don't think we should... It's not good enough.
You shouldn't have to copy it.
It's not good enough to repeat it.
Yeah. I'm kind of frustrated. I feel like I don't know what you're talking because I'm just thinking about what you said that when you began, you only have 2 tasks a day at these days. So that's like 6 opportunities. That's lame.
Yeah, so... I
like having a variety of choices.
You can accept more than 1 task from the board at a time, but yeah.
But it's not going to give you any other task once you're done with it, right?
As far as... No, they will. So, for instance...
Sorry, any different tasks.
Yeah, no. So,
yeah.
You can, like I said, if you have the 2 tasks available and unlocked, you can accept and do those as many times as you want, but you will not get different ones until the next day.
That's the lame part.
Yeah.
Just doing the same stuff over and over, and it's like, well, maybe I wanted something new. I mean, I guess if it's a good day, then, you're vibing. It's fine.
That's how I'm understanding it, and it seems to be that way, especially they clarify it in the video.
If we're misunderstanding, feel free to comment anywhere.
Okay.
Let us know, by the way.
I'll describe to you how they explain it in the video. In video form, what they do is they show tasks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the left, slowly highlighting each one in order as the sailing level on the right increases. So my indication from that is that as your sailing level increases, you have access to getting 2, 3, 4, and 5 tasks eventually.
It's just so weird. Just kind of weird. Anyway, this is all still early. They can still change it.
Yeah, all of this is early.
I think quite a few of these things on the blog post will probably get changed at least a little bit.
Yeah. So that is mainly going to be it. They do say that you'll be able to take up to 5 of each type of task. So you could take 5 courier tasks and 5 bounty tasks from the same notice board for a total of 10 if you'd like.
But the way they word it is like the bounty task is going to be just the same 2 tasks, but 5 times.
Yeah, maybe it does vary.
I hope we're misunderstanding it.
Well, the thing is, I think it will be the same, but it'll be like, maybe it's like 5 courier tasks. Like one is like, go to Musa Point, and then it's like, you get another one. But now it's like, go to Sarum, and you get another one, and it's like, go to Ardoin. So it's like, It's the same genre of quest, but it takes you to different places.
Hopefully it's like that.
That's kind of what it seems like. But then again, they're not saying that there's only 5 total genres, so there are going to be some
There's gonna be
genres
repeats.
that are excluded,
Yeah.
is what it seems like.
Okay. Anyway, talking more about the task, first being courier task. This is taking goods from point A to point B in the boat's cargo hold. You pretty much just put in your boat and you wander over there. Some of these will ask you to deliver multiple boxes of cargo. As you level up, it'll become easier to take on bigger deliveries, and you'll also unlock upgrades like paying someone at the port to load the cargo into the hold for you. So imagine a lot of clicking back and forth whenever you first start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Similarly, as you level up, the requirements will become harder. You'll need more space for your cargo hold, and you might even require special facilities to complete the task. You'll also be asked to sail through more dangerous territory. Cargo holds are upgradable, but they can only store cargo, not your personal items. This is not just a bank that you could take with you anywhere, unfortunately. Future work on courier tasks include balancing the XP rewards and adding ways to make the task more efficient. Later down the line, we'll look at gameplay flow to ensure it's easy for players to juggle multiple tasks at once.
And moving on to bounty tasks. So if you're looking for a bit more adventure, bounty tasks are there for you. Inspired by the hugely popular Hunter's Rumor system, bounty
Hell yeah.
tasks will send you out to sea to fight deadly battles in search of one particular bounty. This will involve ship combat, so you better hope your sailing skills are up to scratch. We're still in early progress, so that's the first job on our list.
Cool. And finally, port task rewards. So you'll get sailing XP upon completion, raising in line with the difficulty of the task as you level up, of course. This is something we're still balancing, but it will vary based on the starting point and the type of task you take. We expect this activity to provide a reliable source of gold and XP per hour, and imagine port task will mostly be completable on the way to other sailing activities. Completing a port task will also get you some general resources, such as gatherable resources like oars, fish, and logs, with uses both in sailing and the wider game, alchemical items, and new material for upgrading your boat. I do wonder, they also were looking to cook up some unique items only available from those. I wonder if we're going to get a pet like the Quetzin.
Maybe.
What if we got a seagull like the ones that wander on the dock?
Maybe?
I'd like that.
I don't know.
There's so many fish things. I just think it'd be fun to have a seagull.
Yeah, I guess so. But then that's kind of like the fishing pet. The heron.
No, the seagull's a different vibe. What if he walked?
Yeah, I know.
He's like,
I would
boop,
expect
boop, boop,
that.
boop,
But what if
boop,
it was just a duck?
Yeah, I want my little duck my current duck.
Yeah.
He's my baby.
That'd be cool, I guess. I don't know.
I'd have to see what kind of stuff you could explore before I could decide a pet. But
Yeah.
first things first, I think of the docks. I think of how there's little seagulls walking around.
Just have a Tortugan pet.
I feel like there will be a turtle pet.
No, because they're like people.
So is Zilliana.
Oh, true. You
Right?
can't have Zillion.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of weird that you could have her, to be honest. But yeah, she could be your
So you
pet.
could have a Ninja Turtle following you, I guess.
I think we'll get that. I think
Yeah.
there'll be a boss version of
There's
that.
already a Master Splinter pet.
Me? Serious.
Me? Yeah, Scurry. You're not obtained, son.
Okay, rude.
All right, it is the next day, and I am wearing the same shirt.
I am wearing a look dedicated to Wraith, because I look like a character from the Fall of the House of Usher. I put my hair in a bun specifically to look like Tamerlane.
Wow, that's really cool. Said no one. Anyways,
Ooh.
we have the shipwreck salvage to continue on. Neither of us have any updates. It's
No,
not been an eventful
it
day.
is not.
Shipwreck salvaging, though, could be an event that you come across when you're out in the ocean. So this is where you'll salvage valuable resources and lost treasure from shipwrecks found across the sea using a salvaging hook.
I think this one sounds fun.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a super relaxed, more firewood level type of XP thing to do. And so essentially you're going to set sail and locate a shipwreck at the sea, interact with your salvaging hook facility, sit back and watch your XP come in. You're also going to be getting little crates, which you return to port with the salvage in your inventory and cargo hold. And then you sort through the salvage at the salvage station once you have docked.
I was just thinking this reminds me of just like forestry or like shooting stars. And they say you might like these if you enjoy low intensity or AFK, simplistic resource gathering, and cooperative social gameplay. And there's literally a picture of woodcutting and shooting stars.
Yeah, I think
Sounds like it'll be the chill activity.
in my opinion, I feel like this, like salvaging,
I thought salvaging would be more active.
yeah, I was thinking salvaging as well as like, boat wreck, like salvaging or like dredging, which I guess are all kind of in the same boat of like salvaging-esque type of stuff, would have been like a big part of it, and then also exploration would have been another big part of it. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that they at least included both of them, even though
Yeah.
I would prefer if the exploration, like we just said, would
Yeah, I
be
wasn't
more repeatable.
expecting the salvaging to be something AFK. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I like
Exploring will be more active.
I like it. Those two are definitely my favorite out of this entire thing that we're going to continue going
That
over.
and what was the second?
The exploration.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just wish the exploration was like a continuous thing and not like a one and
Yeah,
done.
like you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So they do have some level require estimates that they have here. And of course, their new favorite thing, we have light hooks. Light hooks, heavy hooks, and advanced hooks because there's different kinds of ships. The lowest is small shipwrecks, level 12. We have in the middle some pirate shipwrecks at 64. Those require a heavy hook. And then a 91 haunted shipwrecks, which will require a advanced salvaging hook.
Yeah.
I'm excited for those. Those are going to be so cool. I bet there's going to be little ghosts and ghouls. No, there's not because it's AFK.
Yeah, exactly. And this is
That seems like it'd be so cool to do actively.
even described as a second monitor activity, so don't expect to get attacked during this, even if you are the highest level, I'm guessing.
Hopefully there's like little Easter eggs, like ghosts still pop up and stuff and look at
Yeah.
you. I want to explore ships is what I want. I want to
Oh.
board a ship and like explore.
Well,
I
unfortunately,
don't know if
the
that's really
thing
a
is
RuneScape game.
boats don't really stay
I want to
like
play
just
Subnautica.
boardable for a long time.
I want
Okay.
to play Subnautica.
They also do say that this is second monitor type of activity with low XP and GP rates, so expect that. And like you said, there are some like hook requirement and like level things that they show. For instance, like the required levels for like a bronze heavy hook will be higher than the highest requirement for a light dragon hook.
It's really weird because each type of metal also can be light, heavy, or advanced. So it's not like you have to have rune for advanced, which is interesting.
So you could do a bronze light hook, which requires level 12. These are all obviously placeholder kind of, with bronze heavy being 54 and then bronze advanced being 80. So you don't need to have dragon in order to be advanced. You can still use steel or whatever.
But if you have dragon advanced, that is level 98.
Yeah, so practically you
They
just
talked
need the
about
game.
this more during ship customization, they said.
Okay. Besides that, though, they do have some rewards for this event, and like they said, it is lower GP, but you do get materials and stuff like that as well. For example, you'll be able to obtain larch.
These are all new things, by the way, if you couldn't guess.
Yeah, I don't know where you normally get larch, but this is where you get it now.
Well, Shazian Pine, I assumed was in the game.
Shazian pine, cedar, and rosewood planks, which would be essential for shipbuilding.
What if their rosewood was like pink?
It probably is.
They never make anything pink. I doubt it.
Yeah, each plank will, of course, accompany with a tree that you can find and chop down, just like existing plank types. You
Cool.
might have also spotted the cursed gold on the list, which is a new metal resource from sailing. Introducing these materials in sailing lets us integrate them into other skills, such as woodcutting, construction, mining, smithing, and fletching. So
And
that
fire making.
is pretty cool.
It says that you can expect a poll where you'll vote on each one. I wonder how much they'll be grouping stuff together for the poll, though.
Probably everything.
They
It's
say each one, which makes me wonder.
It's so funny. There's like, the memes on the subreddit because like it's funny. They've always done this, right? Like during polls, they're like, "Oh, we want this thing to be voted on, so we'll bundle it with something else."
Yeah, which makes it so much harder to vote and makes so much good stuff fail.
It's funny because like I know I've criticized them for doing this like years in the past, but it's become like really popular to meme about it on the subreddit. And so
Yeah.
people, like, a popular post this week was from someone that's all like, should we include chivalry and also make clues stackable? It's like obviously everyone wants clues to be stackable, so that would probably pass.
All right, moving on. We have Barracuda triangles. Cuda.
Barracuda trials. You said triangles.
And you said trias. Did I really say triangles?
You said triangles.
Okay, well, you said trias.
Well, I was speaking and you were speaking at the same time, but you said triangles.
Well, you said trias.
That is crazy.
Take on the variety of hazardous ocean trials run by the Barracudas, a group of thrill-seeking sailors looking to test people's navigation and survival skills.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at the Barracuda Triangle,
You said try again. Just
No, I said
saying.
trial. I'm just not finishing the word. The Karamjan Run is the name of the first triangle, in which you'll be making a special cocktail for a member of the Barracudas.
Barracuda. What's the
Okay,
song?
you are not going to start singing on the podcast. I will save everyone from that.
Here I am not.
But anyways, this is just going to be you going to. It's actually I thought it was all going to be ship based, like literally racing your
It's
boat.
more, yeah, it's more
It's
exploratory.
more of
No,
a I was gonna say, like a treasure hunt kind of thing.
yeah, so I kind of actually like it more for that reason.
Yeah, it's definitely more like a treasure hunt, but you have like objectives. It's not actually looking for treasure. So, for
It's looking for
instance,
bananas.
if you did the triangle of the Karamjan run, then you would start off by getting, or you would retrieve a crate of rum through salvaging, and then pour it into a barrel. Next up is you would get a bunch of bananas for the beverage
From the Banana Tree Islands.
from the Banana Tree
Yeah,
Island.
how many islands were there be with banana tree?
And then you're going to collect 5 sugar canes with a net and also shove those in the barrel. And you're going to sail through some turbulent waters, which will actually mix up the drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can return the freshly made rum dash or freshly made cocktail to a rum dashed Ralph.
That's the name of the cocktail.
Yes. Which is a rum enthusiast within the Barracudas, and this will give you the XP. So
Unfortunately, Ralph is an alcoholic.
yes, absolutely.
Depressing.
I mean, all sailors are. Anyways, gameplay.
Stereotype. Sheesh.
So gameplay comparisons are going to be engaging and attentive gameplay. So think of something like the Gauntlet. If
Or
you're a
Sepulcher.
PvP enjoyer, or Sepulcher, if you like skilling, these are going to be high level, like
High skill.
high
Sailing.
high input requirement, I guess is
Mhm.
kind of what they're saying. But you also are going to get some good rewards.
Yeah. Scroll down the rewards. Scroll down the
Scroll
rewards.
down the reward. Karamjan Run rewards.
No, they're just saying the same things we just. Oh, rewards. You'll get a flat XP reward for completing each Barracuda triangle. So the faster you can complete it, the more XP per hour you'll receive. As we move further into development and consider balancing, we may also decide to award bonus XP for faster completions, adding more layers to the reward systems. They're also going to offer some untradeable rewards, such as upgrades to facilities, and access to new NPC crewmates, or even new pieces of sailing content.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Of course, like we're all still pretty early in that. They're like, so we could do everything.
Yeah,
we could do anything and everything.
we could add everything to
We
it.
really could.
That is the end of blog number 1, but we do have number 2 right
I'm
after
gonna
it.
say what we're all thinking. It didn't need to be 2 blogs.
I think they have like a word limitation per blog.
That must be it. Because I was like, why?
Yeah.
You just continue the same like vein.
No, they definitely have a word limitation. They've talked about it in the past, so
Oh, I
I'm
can see
guessing
that.
that's what it is. But anyways, they broke up the next section into ship combat, sailing alpha, and other updates.
So when we asked what you want from sailing, PVM was one of the features at the top of that list. Obviously, like come on. We're still early in development, so we don't have much ship combat to show you today, but the foundations are moving along nicely. And our last blog, they shared a GIF of the people doing a drive-by ice barrage. That one was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it really fired up your imaginations. We love sharing these small milestones so you can see the progress we're making bit by bit. However, when sailing launches, we expect only PVM content to be available, so you will actually not be doing the drive-by ice barrage to your homies, unfortunately. PvP will follow at a later date.
Unfortunate.
We're developing sailing content in a way that ensures it can be enabled when the technology and our community are ready for it. So watch this space.
Why do you say it like you're talking about outer space? You're
Watch
like, what's this? Space? Like, comma, space?
I didn't say it like a comma.
Like you're talking to
Go back
outer
to your
space.
triangle.
Anyways, they do have a little GIF showing them
Little blue krakens.
showing them shoot cannonballs at krakens in the water.
Can I be honest? I'm so not used to just a single cannon that I was like, wow, they're just throwing cannonballs. I thought the person was throwing them.
No,
It's just a single cannon in your
it is
ship.
a single cannon. The
Not doing
weirdest
any
part of
damage.
this entire GIF is the fact that they have 3 or 4. They have a bunch of runes in their inventory, but like 3 or 4 of them
Are
are
wrong
the
colors.
wrong color.
Yeah. They're like turquoise instead of blue.
Yeah, very weird. The law
pretty.
rune, the body rune, and the water rune, and the mine rune are all incorrect
They
colors.
just can't do blue for some reason.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Anyway,
Also, the stats page
it's
is
the blues. Like all
is
the
wrong.
bluish tones just don't work for some reason.
weird.
Yeah. 'Cause it's
Anyways.
public too. Anyway, I think there was more on that. So, getting the game to understand that your boat is fine with an NPC at sea is no simple task. Right now, the whole process looks a bit silly, like we just pointed out.
Yes.
Obviously, your character's facing the wrong way, and retaliation mechanics have not been implemented yet, but these monsters will hit back. Don't worry, it's not just going to be them sitting there like, getting hit by cannonballs. So, stay tuned and watch this.
Stay
Space.
tuned. Watch space.
Yeah. Anyway, read about the alpha.
Yeah, so we have the alpha. Anyone that wants to try it can jump in and play right now.
No, you liar. Do you see me like desperately being like, wait, didn't say that?
No, definitely not. It's
Am I stuttering?
not gonna happen like we alluded to earlier for quite some time. They are hoping for the first half of 2025 for
Did they say
their
the first half?
yeah, I don't know where they say it in here.
He's making it
I
up.
don't even know if they say it in
They
this
say
blog.
next year.
But yeah, I
You just made that up.
I swear I read somewhere that it said the first half of next year.
I read that they said it's coming out January 1st.
Well, either
it's
way,
not in this blog, but I swear they said it.
Okay, so now you just are being silly because
You were mocking the triangle thing.
you said Barracuda triangle. I don't know how else to take that other than to make a joke about it. But so you can test this out. Obviously, they're gonna have alpha worlds where you can play test it and everything like that. Try out the movement mechanics. It's obviously not gonna be fully fleshed out. This is not just a beta world. This will be an alpha world. And I don't know if they're going to be doing like a full-on world for it. I think it's gonna be more closed and more invite only than like everyone can come just like try it out. They are going to be doing additional remote playtests as well in order to just get everything in line and get on feedback so that they can continue working on it.
Cool. Other updates. They also have some pictures here. So ModGrub has created the finalized concept art for Kandarin simple rafts and small and large boats. The simple raft model it's really cute. It's just a little dude. It reminds me of playing the raft game. And like a guy's just standing there with like the little, what's it called? The rudder?
Yeah.
There's nothing on it. Bare bones.
It is only 3 tiles long.
Yeah. And then the next one's pretty basic looking.
Yeah, they have the medium. They have like the medium boat, which is about 8 tiles large, and then they have the big boat, large sailboat, which is a 18 tile large boat that you can walk around on.
Yeah. It looks pretty spacious.
It is very spacious. And speaking of spacious, there's a lot of spaces for you to explore as far as islands go. A ton of different kinds. They show what they will generally look like. You have some snow-covered ones,
lava ones.
With lava, as well as some with civilizations on it.
One shaped like a little conch shell.
One shaped like a little conch shell.
Which one's the turtle one? That one's turtle-esque in shape.
Yeah, you're a turtle.
That one's shaped like a bird, right?
I don't know.
You're not really having. That's definitely a penguin.
That is a penguin.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a bunch of different ones. Obviously, you can check them out. I don't know if they'll actually be added to the game, but that's just some of their concepts. And speaking of concepts, they do have additional art by ModGrub.
Shout out ModGrub for this art, man. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out on all of the different cannons, all the way from bronze to dragon.
Finally, we are getting pink stands for the cannons.
Yeah.
They actually are pink.
They are pink. It does look like rosewood would be required to make these.
Ooh, cool.
As it is now.
Yeah.
And then the final part of our navigation feedback, we're working on more visual indicators to ensure that docking and disembarking is a smooth and simple process. So you can check out some additional graphics to help you safely port. And they do have
a buoy thing floating north, a bell.
Yeah, buoys with bells so you can hear the dock, as well as wind indicators on the dock itself. A little
beagle next to it.
A little beagle on the dock.
Oh, cute.
But yeah, so that is all there is really for the updates.
And a little thought part by, oh my god, it sounds like I'm calling him a thought. A little section by Mod Kieran about their thoughts on sailing.
Yes.
I'm not calling Mod Kieran a thought. I apologize.
Yeah. Mod Kieran does go into in depth on what they think would be a good, definition for what early, mid, and late game is. So they say for early game, 1 to 50 is to be expected. You can participate in the shallow sea areas. There are going to be a few different training methods available to you, just like any other skill. You'll learn the basics of shipwreck salvaging, complete your first port task, chart your first areas of the sea, and gain access to your first Barracuda trial.
Triangle.
which we're calling the Karamjan Run. You will gain access to low-level ports like Port Sarim, Musa Point, and Catherby. If you work hard enough, you can even get yourself a second boat.
At level 50, you'll be in the mid game, which will move you into the open sea around Port Khazard. You'll unlock new ports too, like the
Kazad.
like the ruins of Unka, Port Phasmatis, and Relica. You'll get even more from islands you've already discovered, like the Great Conch. That's the one I pointed at. Expect sailing to become more challenging, but remember that as it is with most skills, higher level requirements result in better rewards. Some of these will further upgrade your boat. There'll be some major milestones here for you to target, many of which will be linked to rewards from new islands and points of interest.
And lastly, we have the late game. So this is going to be around level 85, and this is where sailing
Do you
as
consider 85 late game?
not really.
I'd consider like 90.
I would say that mid late game. Yeah, I was going to say around 90 to 92
Weirdly.
is probably
But
late
when I
game.
was 85, to be fair, it felt like I was late game.
I mean,
But now that I'm not,
you got to think about it, bro.
you're not even halfway there.
You're not even halfway. So the thing is, it's not about like how many things you've unlocked, really. It's about how long you've played the game.
Yeah.
So to not even be halfway, that's like not that much.
I think I have a hard time considering skilling being late game. Because the way that I play, I consider late game PVM focused, but that's obviously just my own.
No, I think about like what you
perspective.
can do at certain levels. Like for instance, you can't even make a, quote unquote end game necklace until 90 crafting for the Onyx.
I would say 90s late game.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we're not going to get into what is late game,
I
but
was just curious what you thought.
I think 85, a lot of normal human beings with like 8 jobs and 15 wives would probably think 85 is late game.
You gotta take care of those wives.
Honestly, this is where we see sailing as potentially improving on a lot of other skills. Many skills struggle to offer meaningful unlocks and rewards at this level range,
Yeah, real.
offering only a long grind at level 99. While we're working to improve that in existing skills, with sailing we can ensure there are aspirational milestones to target even from launch. Yeah, we don't want everyone to be like, oh, cool, just like mining, the best training method is at level 40.
Yeah.
Or actually, with mining, it's level 15. Sorry.
Jesus.
Well, I guess I'm talking about power mining iron. I'm not doing tick manipulation. So,
Because you're a coward.
yeah. So, firstly, this is when you'll expect to access the deep sea.
Woo!
This is the entire western sea region of Gilnor.
Cool.
This will give you new areas to chart, new types of ships to acquire and salvage from, and new ports in mostly harmless Piscarilius and Civitas Illifortis. Content in the deep sea will be much more dangerous, so you better make sure to get those boats upgraded.
Yeah. They also do add that the exact levels for certain unlocks are not final yet. There's still at work to go. These are just guesstimations.
Yeah, they do
So
say
they're agreeing
that
85 is not late game.
yeah, and also they continue on to say that obviously, like they said at the beginning of the blog, no two skills are identical, but they are just drawing on different ones for comparison. When they talked about things like sepulcher, each skill has a high and low intensity training option with rewards to match the effort. Not everyone likes every method. Obviously, like I just said, I don't like
Yeah.
tick manipulation usually, and we don't expect you to, but we try to add options for everyone.
Yeah.
And that is directly why they have like Hebox Xiong in the video, because obviously they do all of the tick manipulation methods,
Yeah.
and most people don't.
They also did say there's been a lot of talk about sailing needs to be a skill and not feel like a mini game. I think that's everyone's like number one fear. Definitely mine.
Honestly, it's not my number one fear. I never really worried about that. I just worried that the core gameplay loop wasn't going to be boring and or suck.
Okay.
And
You were
these-
worried it wasn't going to be boring? You want it to be boring.
Honestly, don't care if it's boring, because we have wood cutting and mining, which both suck, and
Yeah.
people don't really complain about those.
I do. Anyway, and this is what we believe we're doing. I feel what we've got has so much in common with other skills. It really is in no way like a mini game, but the proof is in the pudding. I'm excited for you to get your hands on it during the sailing alpha, but in the meantime, we'll have regular updates to showcase what sailing has to offer. The biggest difference between sailing and most other skills is that it'll largely take place on the seas, something you've had very little access to before. I think after reading these blogs, I'm not as worried about the minigame thing anymore.
No.
I was worried about having some like solid examples showing what we're gonna do is making me feel a lot better about it and making me actually very excited about it.
Yeah, I guess I was worried about the minigame thing, but in
Yeah, I was like, you
probably
were.
the way that most people aren't, is I find it incredibly bad for games, in my personal experience, when things take people out of places. So
I'll into an instance.
if it acted as a mini game, quote unquote, in the fact that it like removed you from the world in order to go into the ocean and like put you in like a separate instance for
Yeah, that's lame.
that would suck.
That's like the whole point of an MMO is
yeah,
to see people.
like I standing at Ardoin should be able to see people coming into port or something close to that effect, because if not, then the game will feel really empty.
You'll feel you're in the cutscene of a quest.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this wouldn't last forever, but especially when the skill first comes out, it's gonna feel extremely empty in the game if that is the case.
Yeah.
It'll still feel slightly emptier because obviously everyone's gonna be out at sea, but once you go near the ports, it should seem
You should
active
still see
again.
people, yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is it on the sailing, though. Are you guys feeling excited? I'll make that my little Spotify question.
Are you excited about
Excited,
sailing?
not excited, neutral? Should I include a section saying I didn't vote for sailing? Just because I know someone's probably gonna be like, I didn't.
Yeah, shamanism's better.
Shamanism would have been better. I am excited for this, but shamanism would have been better.
You could
And I
have
hate the way
gone
they did that
into
poll.
another realm of existence.
That would have been an instance, though, wouldn't it? No, because other people would be there too.
Yeah, it would just be
It'd be like
it would be
two
an instance
worlds.
that everyone else is also
Ugh.
in. But
Would've been so cool.
I think you're running into that problem with both skills,
Yeah.
honestly.
Before we move on to the Q&A, announcement. I haven't announced it anywhere yet, but I figure by the time the podcast is out, I hopefully will. I'm gonna have Bastilla on the podcast next week.
Bastilla, she is a long-time
RuneScape streamer.
RuneScape streamer.
She is like, wow, she is a long-time RuneScape streamer because she was like a bigger streamer whenever I started. Big to me. I remember she had like 40 viewers, and I was like, she's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and she's a gamer, and she's really nice, and we met her before.
we have met her before.
Yeah, so she's gonna be on the podcast. If you have any questions for her? Anyway, Q&A time.
Yes, we do have a bit of a Q&A. We have, well, do we have questions on
We
Spotify?
kind of have a question on Spotify. It's not a real question. I just thought it was so funny.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That Chef said, why did Robert read that support update so creepy? Nice customer service voice, Rob.
That's why, because I feel like that's how that person wrote it.
Like a pervert?
No, like very, it had to have been done sarcastically because no one read it that way in their head, like
Yeah.
realistically, because those questions were a joke.
That's so funny.
Besides that, though, we do have questions from Matt and Harger. Shout out.
Yeah, first question from Harger. Should OSRS have more styles of cooking the same food? For example, take salmon. You can grill it, smoke it, fry it, deep fry it, bagel it,
Bagel
bake
it.
it. I said bagel it.
Oh, you can bagel it. That's
You
how
can't
bagels
put
are
it
made.
on. Salmon goes on bagels.
If you cut
Isn't that
anything
lox?
into like donut shape, then it's a
You're
bagel.
bageling it.
Yeah.
Poach it and probably do other styles I'm forgetting. Maybe that's too much detail, but I think increasing the variety of cooking methods could provide benefits, like smoking is the highest success rate but less nutritious. Boiling is most nutritious but can only be done with a pot and water, which might not be available in the wilderness when you light a fire. Also, no one would want to do that anywhere, to be honest.
True.
So you gotta save inventory space. And deep frying requires oil, and depending on the oil used, it adds minor skill boost. I think it might be a
I-
little bit too much like the teas from forestry that didn't come through.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I've always thought this, and I think I've said this quite a few times before, is it would be cool if there were different ways to make or manipulate food. So, like, kind of how they really only have like two things in the game that do this, and it's pizza and potatoes.
Yeah.
And you can add things to them to make them better or worse or whatever. So I think it would be cool if there were versions of that, because as it is now, it's like, oh, are you gonna go fishing because that's the best way to get the
Yeah,
best
I
food?
do agree. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's funny because they start adding the hunter foods, right? And they're like pretty decent, but we're all so ingrained in our heads to fish that
Yeah.
no one really does it. I feel like.
I've always thought it's weird because a beef steak at level whatever one cooking is 6 times worse than a shark.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have ever eaten either. I've had both.
Have you had shark?
Steak is way worse. Shark is dry and tough, usually.
Well, that would heal you more. It'd fill you up.
No,
With
I
its
think that
dryness.
I would absolutely choose the steak 100 out of 100 times.
Isn't it illegal to eat sharks?
No, it's not. It's illegal to only fish them for their fins, which is what happens in China for shark fin soup.
Did you have shark fin soup?
Did you know there's also bird's nest soup?
It's called a serotonin brew.
Exactly, right? No, that's a real thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't bird's nest? Is it just called that? Because aren't bird's nest literally just twigs and trash?
No, it's actually made out of bird's nests in some
Well,
regard.
they must have some nice bird's nest over there. Because here they're just like straw wrappers.
Yeah. Well, it's also like a medicinal soup in China, from what I understand.
Huh. Is
Yeah.
he lying? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Let me know if I'm lying. I saw it on TV once upon a
I saw it
time.
on TV 26 years ago.
It must be true. But anyways,
I watched a documentary in the 7th grade, a fake documentary about dragons, and for like 2 years, I wasn't sure if dragons actually were real or not.
they are
Don't
pterodactyls. Come
confuse
on,
me.
dude.
Pterodactyls?
So, anyways, I do think there should be more interesting ways. Like cooking doesn't need an overhaul in the way that mining does. It needs a thematic overhaul.
Yeah, thematically it's super boring.
Like if you could do like steak with like lobster to make like like surf and turf
plate.
like platter that
That's
like heals
funny.
you for like I don't know, maybe not as much, maybe more. And like we don't need to define metas here, but
Yeah.
just so that there's some variety.
Yeah, I think it's just also like I was saying, I think it's also a big mindset switch too that we all have to make because we're so used to one thing, it's kind of hard to switch.
Yeah, because I mean, also
I do like the idea of switching
that would
it.
help with leveling too. Maybe you could change it up and make it more interesting. Because as it is now, it's like, how close can I get
To a bank.
from a bank to a cooking place? It's all like,
What if you can make sushi as you're just like
I mean,
having your inventory?
no, yeah, that's fine too, I
I
guess.
don't know. I'm
But
trying to think of something. I'm not creative.
yeah, like if you were rewarded by properly preparing food, like you had to take it to different stations at the Hostitia's kitchen or something, then that would be cool as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's cool. I think there's a lot of options for that just aren't doing. It's just
I agree.
fish.
It is just fish. Next question is from Matt on Discord, who said, I correct my mistake. Please have mercy. Matt actually posted this question in the Bunebape podcast channel. I almost banned. I was
I
like, you
did
can't do that.
ban. You just didn't see. I brought him back.
Oh, you're so
I know.
so
Gracious.
sweet, gracious God.
Truly.
Oh my God. All right. So kind of a weird question this week and not RuneScape related. Do you ever feel nervous about clicking publish because you're anxious about what people will think when they hear it? Or get anxious about people thinking something like, I wonder when the first person will click the episode, or is anyone listening right now? I ask because I get really anxious when I public music or send my music to a venue. It makes me uncomfortable to not see the immediate reaction of the listener, and I always assume the worst. Maybe the podcast is different because you publish so many episodes and each episode is similar in style, but I don't know. Thoughts?
No. So I do try to produce. I mean, I have less agency over this because Michelle does a lot of the editing.
You can
but
take over.
I do try to put out as high quality content as I personally can.
You should probably take over editing.
Besides that, though, not even for a second do I think about what people think about it.
I don't think about what people are going to think about it because I don't care about that. I worry sometimes if people will listen. But now I feel like we have like consistent listeners and actually been like growing a lot this year. We grew 69%. Nice on Spotify Wrapped. I posted on Discord if you guys want to see that, by the way.
True.
I think we have enough consistent listeners that don't worry about that. Like if that, because I never worried about if they'll like it, and I don't really worry about if people listen to it now. But sometimes I do worry whenever I look and I see that's like lower than normal. I worry more so about videos. Whenever video view counts go down, it makes me feel bad, even though I know sometimes it's just the stupid YouTube algorithming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to go into it positively. Like I'll post a video and be like, what if this got like 1,000 views and it gets like 50? And I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
I try just not to look, or I look, but now that I'm not doing it as a job, it's a lot less stressful too. I should say that.
Yeah.
Now that I have a real job and this is fully a hobby that obviously I would love to be a job again, it's way less stressful. And I don't really think about it.
Yeah. Whenever Michelle is telling me this question before the podcast, it really is like the Mad Men meme where like the guy's in the elevator and he tells John Hamm, he's all like, or he's like, I hate you or something like that. And then John Hamm's like, I don't think about you at all. I literally just don't think about it. Like even when I make videos, I make them and I do hope they do well. And at
Make them for yourself.
whenever I upload it and click publish, I'm like, hopefully someone likes this. That's literally my whole expectation is hopefully someone likes this. And each video I make, it has a point
Yes.
that it's trying to do. Like some videos I make because I'm like, hopefully someone laughs. Very rare, or
Me
like
with every short I made.
hopefully, yeah, or like
That was such
hopefully,
a loud laugh. Wow.
yeah, that was like
It was weird. It went out of hand.
that was weird.
That was really weird. I apologize for that.
Yeah, hopefully no one heard that, but I mean everyone heard that.
I wonder if it clipped.
Um,
This will be a good test. Robert claims it won't clip anymore.
it didn't clip. I saw it because it my ear hurt, but luckily it didn't clip for you
It
guys.
turned into a weird seagull thing.
Yeah. But no, I don't with videos, you like if I think it did the goal of the video okay and it seems like it may have achieved that goal for at least one single person, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like if it's a guide on how to do something and it may have potentially helped someone, like literally a single person leaves a comment or a like about how it helped them, that's fine with me.
Honestly, you guys, you don't have to do it on our videos and stuff, but it does feel really good when you post something you made a long time ago and someone just comments like, "This was helpful."
Yeah.
And it's just like, "Oh wow, I'm a god. That's crazy."
Yeah. Like I posted a video
I'm a guiding god.
the other day and someone's all like, "Oh, I like this," or like, "Oh, subscribed." I'm like, "All right, cool. Apparently you liked it. I did a good job." That's
Yeah,
all.
it feels really nice.
That is the amount of brain power I put into that, because like
Yeah.
the thing is you will never begin if you think about it too much.
Yes, which I think is more my issue.
Yeah.
I'm getting over it though. Podcasts, it was more like, I just want to reiterate, it was more YouTube. Podcasts, I'm more just kind of like put out there. Because another common question is people saying, like, isn't it weird hearing your voice?
No.
No, not at all. Because I have been doing this in a different podcast before it for like 4.5 years. I am very used to hearing my own voice at this point.
Even then, whenever I first started, I never was thinking, "Oh, what does my voice sound like?" or "What do I
Yeah,
think
just
about
think
my
about
voice?"
more what I'm saying.
I'm literally just thinking about it as a sound wave. I'm like,
Yeah.
how does this sound? And
Yeah.
then I won't go for like, oh, I sound like good or bad. I will be like, I need to sound more engaged
Mhm.
because I think that would be a more enjoyable experience.
God, I hate whenever I go to edit in short and I sound so tired and not engaged. I'm
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
Like
That was
I'm
literally
like,
my
oh,
short
I
today.
sound like way too down.
Mhm.
And so I need to redo this because I think it would be way more enjoyable if I did it in a different tone.
Yeah.
But it's not like I sound good or I sound bad or whatever, anything like that.
Whenever you first start editing stuff with your voice, did you think that your voice sounded how you expected it to?
It sounded deeper and more monotone.
Yeah, I don't think you realize how monotone you sound.
Yeah, like I literally
Until people
cannot,
are like, "Why does Robert always sound so rude?" And I'm
like
like,
I
"It's just
yeah,
what he
I
talks
literally
like."
cannot fix it. And in order to speak in a registry that is more engaging takes a lot of effort for me. That's why I don't
It's
do it
not
on the
natural.
podcast. I do it in videos and it's like a slightly higher tone with more
Yeah,
energy,
but you can't do that for 2 hours.
but I can't do that. Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought I thought the opposite. Whenever I heard my voice, I thought it would be deeper, especially listening back to calls at work because I do my customer service
No.
voice and I'm like, sound like a child. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you have more like I say like some girls have girl voice and some girls have boy voice.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're definitely more girl voice, obviously.
Which I don't mind, but I do like a good boy voice.
Yeah, like obviously there's the girls don't usually sound like a boy. Like I can still tell it's a girl, but
you know what it is? Is like I feel like my voice is almost shaky, and some people have very like steady voices. I don't think
Uh,
of it as girl voice, but like Zoe Pancakes randomly is a really good example. Like watching her stream, I'd be like, "You have such a good voice for just like talking
yeah.
randomly."
Funny enough, someone at work randomly mentioned months and months ago, they're like, "Oh, you have a really good voice. You should do podcasts." And then I was like, "Oh
Did
yeah,
you tell them?
I've done a podcast about video games for 3 years at that point."
Why don't they ask you about your interests? How do they not know that?
It's not something that comes up.
I tell people everything.
I don't tell anyone about this podcast.
Because
I don't like telling people about my creations. I like people that want to find it, find it.
Yeah, but I mean, in the opposite way, we're just totally off from this question at this point. Me telling people about it has gotten someone to play the game. I got my friend Ko to play the game.
Yeah.
He started watching my stream, and then I got him to play it.
Yeah. I mean, if people ask, like,
And I likes it.
I'll tell them about it, but I'm definitely not one to like talk about what I do in my free time.
Which is wild to me because I'm an overshare. I talk about everything I'm doing all the time.
Yeah. Like the most I'll do is be like, yeah, I play video games and that's it. Like if someone was like, oh, have you done a podcast for 5 years? And I'd be like, or however long we've done it,
Almost.
then it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, no one asked that, but yeah, like I would tell them, but no one asked that.
And I'm so the opposite of oversharing that yesterday at work we had a meeting and we went around saying our favorite video games and I said old school RuneScape and I could see one of my coworkers like sitting next to me. It looked like he was trying not to laugh at me because I've talked about it so much.
Yeah.
And I've made him watch my stream.
But no, I think in general there's really no downside for putting out stuff, so you shouldn't be worried about it.
Even if no one watches it, do it for yourself. Just do it because it's fun.
Yeah, especially if you put out like anything creative like videos or music, then it's like
Music's so cool. I literally can't even comprehend how to come up with my own music. So that's awesome.
I would probably try to take the same approach and be like, if one person listens to this and they like it, mission accomplished.
It's a win.
You know, it's kind of like the like lifestyle mindset some people have of they like a lot of people do this for relationships, and I think it's generally a pretty good idea is like they do the campfire rule or the campsite rule. And it's like you can't feel bad about breaking up with someone or you know or just leaving a friendship behind. It's as long as you've left it better than you found it, as long as you've improved it in some way,
You haven't ruined this person's life.
you can move on. So same thing with creative stuff is like as long as you've made at least something better for someone, then you can move along.
Yeah, I'm not telling you guys to go on like weird hate rants on YouTube. Just think cute and fun.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. That's it for our questions.
Yeah.
We went off the rails.
Thanks again for asking. Please feel free to ask questions again every week forever at any of our socials.
Ever.
Most of all, our discord.gg/Bunebape, but we do have many other socials. Feel free to ask questions on Spotify. That's another place a lot of people like to ask questions.
The Spotify one's been really nice. I publish little polls every week if you guys want to vote.
Yeah, you can vote on there. You can ask questions.
They're always like, "Did you play Leagues?"
Funny comments, anything.
Talk about Robert's creepy voice.
Yeah, we do like them, and yeah, make sure to check out all of our socials for that stuff.
Yeah, so our Twitter and TikTok are Bunebapeosrs. Our Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky are all Bunebape. I stream 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. This Sunday, I am not going to be live because we are doing a Christmassy thing.
3 days, liar.
3 days this week. But yeah, come hang out with me. And also ask questions for next week because Vistil is going to join and she's so sweet and it's going to be fun.
True. That's going to be it. Thanks again for listening. Hopefully you all enjoyed it and we'll see you
very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You never look at the camera. Stop it. Stop it.